I flew out to see my mom for the first time ever, and 15 years later, I still regret it. I was 23 when the first letter arrived. My whole life had been just me and Dad. He never talked bad about my mom, only said she was 17 and chose adoption because she wanted me to have a real family. I'd spent years imagining her. Did she think about me on birthdays? Did she regret giving me up? The letter was handwritten, nervous, and shaky. She said she'd been thinking about me for years and wanted to meet. She included a photo. We had the same dark hair and narrow face. I stared at it for weeks. Dad got quiet when I showed him. That's your choice, kiddo, but you don't owe her anything. I could hear the fear in his voice. He was scared of losing me. I waited 6 months before writing back because I needed to be sure. We emailed for over a year. She told me she worked at a dental office doing billing, had a cat named Pepper, loved hiking on weekends. I told her about my library job, my apartment, how Dad taught me to fix cars. She never mentioned why she gave me up. I never asked because I was afraid she'd stop writing. After a year, she asked me to visit Phoenix. My hands shook reading that email. I booked the flight that night before fear could stop me. Dad drove me to the airport at dawn. He barely spoke. At the curb, he grabbed my wrist. If anything feels wrong, call me. I'll get you home immediately. I promised. She waited at baggage claim holding a homemade sign with my name in puffy paint. When she saw me, she dropped it and ran over crying. She hugged me so hard I couldn't breathe. I can't believe you're here, she whispered. I cried too because part of me had always felt incomplete, and suddenly that piece was standing in front of me. We ate lunch at a diner. She couldn't stop staring. You look exactly like my mom did at your age. She died 3 years ago. I felt a flash of anger. Why didn't she reach out when her mom was alive so I could have met her? I swallowed it down. She asked everything about my life. Favorite foods, friends, relationships. It felt intense but good, like she genuinely wanted to know me. I asked about her boyfriend Trevor, who worked construction, her job, why she chose Phoenix. She answered everything openly. That night, she made tacos at her apartment. We watched a movie on her couch, sitting close. I felt safe. Before bed, she hugged me. I'm so happy you came. I went to sleep thinking maybe we could build something real. The next morning, she made pancakes. We sat at her kitchen table and she got this nervous look. I need to tell you something. My stomach dropped. She'd been sick for 2 years. Kidney disease. She did dialysis 3 times a week and was on a transplant list, but the wait was years long and she was getting worse. Her doctor suggested reaching out to biological relatives because they'd be the best donor match. That's why you found me. It wasn't a question. She stared at her coffee. That's why I reached out when I did. Yes, but I always wanted to know you. Did you think about me before you got sick? Long pause. Sometimes. On your birthday? Sometimes. The word felt like a slap. Not every day, not every year. Sometimes. I was 17, she said, crying now. I didn't know how to be a mom. You were better off with your dad. Look how great you turned out. Then why now? Why not 5 years ago or 10? I was scared. Then I got sick and ran out of time. Her voice cracked. I know it's selfish. I stood up. My chair scraped loud against the floor. You should have told me in the first letter. You should have been honest. Would you have come if I had? We both knew the answer was no. She grabbed my hand. I'm not asking for a kidney. I swear. I just wanted to meet you. I wanted you to know I think about you, that I regret everything. But that was the lie that broke me. She didn't regret it until she needed something. That's what made it unbearable. I walked out. I spent 2 hours wandering her neighborhood trying to breathe. When I came back, she was on the couch looking tiny and gray. I told her I was leaving early. She nodded like she'd expected it. Okay. She drove me to the airport in complete silence. At the curb, she tried to hug me. I let her, but didn't hug back. I'm sorry for everything, she whispered. I got on the plane and cried until we landed. Dad picked me up and waited until we got home to ask what happened. I told him everything while sobbing on our couch. He held me and said, you did nothing wrong. Nothing. She never contacted me again. 8 months later, Dad found her obituary. She'd died. I felt horrible for feeling relieved that I'd never have to make that choice.